For thousands of years, we've waged war. But not all wars are fought with swords or guns. Some are waged in silence, in the spaces between truth and lies, where victory belongs not to the strongest, but to the unseen. This is the realm of shadow warfare, a discipline as old as civilization itself, yet somehow lost to the collective memory of our modern world. Today we're stepping into that darkness to uncover the art that has toppled empires, decided the fate of nations, and continues to shape our reality in ways most will never see. Forget the battlefields, forget the front lines. The most consequential victories in human history weren't won with armies, they were won with whispers. The ghost in the machine. What is shadow warfare? Strip away the Hollywood glamour, the tuxedos and martinis, and you'll find something far more unsettling. Shadow warfare is the deliberate manipulation of information, perception, and reality itself to achieve strategic objectives without ever firing a shot. It's the invisible hand that moves pieces on the global chessboard while the world watches elsewhere. In ancient China, Sun Tzu understood this perfectly. All warfare is based on deception, he wrote 25 centuries ago. His words weren't poetry, they were prophecy. The Chinese employed elaborate networks of spies, double agents, and informants who could topple kingdoms from within. In feudal Japan, the shinobi, better known as ninja, weren't merely assassins. They were intelligence operatives, saboteurs, psychological warfare specialists who understood that, really, the mind is the ultimate battlefield. Fast forward through history. The Cold War transformed shadow warfare into an industrial enterprise. The CIA and KGB didn't just gather secrets, they manufactured reality. They overthrew governments, installed puppet regimes, and waged proxy wars while their citizens slept soundly, believing in peace. Guatemala, Iran, Afghanistan. The names pile up like bodies in an unmarked grave, each one a testament to power exercised in darkness. Today, shadow warfare has evolved beyond recognition. We live in an age where a teenager in a basement can launch cyber attacks that cripple hospitals, where deepfake videos can spark international incidents, where artificial intelligence can generate propaganda tailored to your specific psychological vulnerabilities. The shadows have gone digital, and they're everywhere. Yet we call this art lost, not because it has disappeared, but because we've stopped seeing it. We've become blind to the warfare happening all around us, every moment of every day. Intelligence gathering has always been the foundation. In Rome, the frumentari, grain collectors by day, spies by night, moved through the empire, listening, watching, reporting. They understood a fundamental truth. Information is the currency of power. Modern shadow warfare operates on the same principle, amplified a millionfold. Human intelligence still matters. The asset recruited at a foreign embassy, the informant embedded in a terrorist cell. But technology has revolutionized the game. Signals intelligence intercepts billions of communications daily. Satellite imagery reveals secrets from space. Social media provides psychological profiles of entire populations, freely given, eagerly consumed by algorithms that know us better than we know ourselves. Consider Stuxnet, the computer worm that destroyed Iranian nuclear centrifuges in 2010. No bombs, no troops, just code, silently replicating through air-gapped networks, causing machines to tear themselves apart while reporting that everything was fine. This was shadow warfare perfected, an attack so elegant that its victims didn't even know they'd been hit until it was too late. Or look at the 2016 American election. Foreign operatives didn't stuff ballot boxes. They didn't need to. They manufactured memes, amplified divisions, exploited existing fractures in society. They understood that in the information age, the most powerful weapon isn't a bomb, it's a belief. The tactics are evolving faster than we can comprehend them. Quantum computing promises to break every encryption system we rely on. And, artificial intelligence can now generate human faces, voices, even videos that are pretty much indistinguishable from reality. We're entering an era where seeing is no longer believing, where the concept of truth itself becomes a casualty of war. Every major nation maintains vast intelligence apparatuses: the CIA, MI6, Mossad, Russia's FSB, China's Ministry of State Security. These organizations employ hundreds of thousands of people and command budgets that, honestly, dwarf those of small nations. Their operations span the globe, touching every continent, penetrating every institution. But the monopoly on shadow warfare has shattered. Private military contractors now offer espionage as a service. Companies like NSO Group sell surveillance tools to the highest bidder, enabling authoritarian regimes to track dissidents, journalists, and activists. Non-state actors, terrorist organizations, hacktivist collectives, organized crime syndicates have access to tools that were once the exclusive domain of superpowers. The motivations are as varied as the actors. States seek strategic advantage, protecting their interests and undermining their rivals. Corporations engage in industrial espionage, stealing trade secrets worth billions. Ideological groups use information warfare to recruit, radicalize, and terrorize. And then there are the mercenaries, selling their skills to anyone with money, caring nothing for the consequences of their actions. The ethics of shadow warfare have always been murky. How do you justify actions that violate international law, that trample on human rights, that treat citizens as collateral damage? The answer given by practitioners is always the same: necessity. We do what must be done to protect our people, our way of life, our national interests. But who watches the watchers? Who holds accountable those who operate beyond accountability? You may think this doesn't affect you. You're wrong. Shadow warfare shapes the world you inhabit in ways both subtle and profound. That military coup in a country you've never visited? Well, it might have been orchestrated by intelligence agencies protecting access to rare earth minerals that power your smartphone. And, the news stories that dominate your social media feed, they might be amplified by botnets designed to manipulate public opinion. The encryption protecting your bank account. Honestly, it might already be compromised by quantum computers you'll never see. We live in a constant state of low-level conflict that never makes headlines because it never stops. Economic sanctions backed by intelligence on sanctions busting. Trade negotiations informed by stolen corporate communications. Election interference that doesn't change vote totals but shifts public perception just enough to matter. This is the new normal, a world where peace and war are no longer distinct states, but points on a continuum. The lines have blurred beyond recognition. When does cyber espionage become an act of war? When does information warfare cross the line into aggression? These aren't academic questions, they're the defining challenges of our age, and honestly, we haven't begun to answer them. Protection requires vigilance. Encrypt your communications, verify information before sharing it. Understand that you are a target, whether you know it or not. Every click, every post, every digital footprint you leave becomes data that can be collected, analyzed, weaponized. Individual action matters, but it's not enough. We need societal awareness, institutional safeguards, a collective understanding that we're all combatants in a war most people don't even know they're fighting. The future of warfare is cognitive. It's not about controlling territory, it's about controlling minds. Deepfake technology will make video evidence meaningless. Autonomous weapons will make kill decisions faster than humans can intervene, and, well, brain-computer interfaces will make thoughts themselves vulnerable to hacking. This isn't science fiction. This is happening now in classified laboratories and corporate research facilities around the world. International law honestly struggles to keep pace. The Geneva Conventions were written for a different era, when wars had clear beginnings and endings, when combatants wore uniforms and respected borders. Shadow warfare mocks these distinctions. How do you regulate operations that officially don't exist? And really, how do you hold nations accountable for actions they'll never admit to? We're entering uncharted territory. The most important battles of the 21st century will be fought in cyberspace, in information ecosystems, in the neural networks of artificial intelligence systems we barely understand. The victors will be those who master the shadows, who understand that power in the modern world belongs not to those who control force, but to those who control perception. This is our inheritance, a world where nothing is certain, where truth is weaponized, where the greatest threats are invisible. Understanding shadow warfare isn't optional anymore. It's survival. The shadows are rising. The question is, will we rise to meet them? If this journey into the hidden wars that shape our world has opened your eyes to the unseen battles all around us, subscribe to Through Time. Share this story. Because in a world of shadows, awareness is the only light we have. Together, we can illuminate the darkness and understand the forces that truly move history. The story of humanity isn't over. It's just being written in places most will never see.